Good evening. Decided to do a Wednesday night motorcyclism video. Had a couple schools of thought tonight, so I thought I'd share those with you. Kind of some do's and some don'ts maybe, but it all stems around putting beer in your saddlebags. The first school of thought that I had, I kind of got off track there for a minute. The first school of thought I had was, I come across this meme today and I like it, so I wanted to touch on it, and then we're going to talk about the beer. So, I love to ride, I hate to arrive. In a good way. So, where I want to go with this is, I'm going to ask you a question. Think about it for a minute. Have you ever gone out to maybe run to the store or run an errand on your motorcycle, and damn, you took it's a 2-block trip and you put on 80, 90, 100 miles getting there and home? We've all done it. I know we have. If you haven't, you're bullshitting. So, I went to the beer store one day, and I needed to get some beer, and so I jumped on the Harley and took off and ran over to the beer store. And I went straight there and bought me an 18-pack. Just so you know, for those of you who haven't tried it, you can put an 18-pack in either side bag on the hard bags. Just a tip. For any little tip there, for any little reminder. So I went over, got me a beer, stuck it in the saddlebags. I was going to come back home. And I'm headed home and I drive by the road. I don't know what happened. I just drove by the road. So I went down, oh hell, we'll go out of town. So there's a loop that goes around this town that I live in here in West Texas. So I went out and hit the loop and went all the way around town. It takes a good 20, 30 minutes maybe to make the loop. It's a pretty good sized loop. And so I made the loop, and then I shot Main Street down through the middle of town, and I drove by the road again. It was just one of those days that I just wanted to ride. So it goes along with the I love to ride, I hate to arrive, right? I didn't want to go home. I didn't want to get to my destination. I wanted to just ride. And so I did. Hell, I had nobody here to tell me I had to be home. So I could stay out as long as I wanted and not have to explain or have any repercussions, right? So I just stayed out and rode and rode and rode. You'll have those days. You will, where you just want to do it, and I'm sure you all have. I'm sure I'm not the only rebel around here that loves to ride and hates to arrive. That's why we're all on here. So now, my other school of thought, because it brought me when I was sitting there thinking, you could put a whole 18-pack of beer in each one of those saddlebags. So when I was in Ohio, we had our camper out on a lake, and you'd have to go in the spring and bid and try to get a spot, right? So we would go out there and spend the day and bid and go through the bidding process and everything to try to get a spot at the lake. And so one year we got one. And so we put the camper out there in the spring and just left it. You just park it, set it up, and leave it, right? And so then on the weekends, you can go out there and camp, fish, whatever you want to do, campfire, and stuff. So we would ride the Harley out there a lot and stay. And so one weekend we took the Harley out there, and we got out to the campground, and we needed to go to the beer store. So we rode into town and went to the beer store. And in those days, for some reason, we was on that apple cider shit mix kick for some reason. Well, we decided that we'd go ahead and get a case of that and, you know, restock the fridge so that when we go out on the weekends, we've got some beer to drink. So, or some apple cider in that case, with a kick. So anyway, we go there and we get this case of shit. Well, she don't want to hold it, and so we decide we'll put it in the saddlebags. So we open this case of beer up, and they're bottles, and we lay them in the saddlebags, and we fill up. It filled up about 1.5. So one was full, and the other was about half full. To put this case in, threw the box away, and boom, take off down the road. Oh my hell, you can't do that. If for some reason you're brain locked or brain dead like I was that day, and you think that you can lay those bottles down and everything's gonna be all right, no. We got to the campground, and I think we had, out of a case of beer, I think maybe we had 10 that were full. We had several that were empty, and we had saddlebags that were full of beer. Yeah, shit was floating, man, let me tell you. So, just two school of thoughts. You can put an 18-pack in there if you use the cans. And then you can put it in there and shut the lid, and you can take off down the highway. It works out great. You can't put bottles in there and lay them down. Now, I have hauled a 6-pack of bottles standing up. You can stand them up in there, and that'll be okay. But laying them down, and then the vibrations, the illustrious Harley vibration that serves a very good purpose at times, makes your beer go all out. Fizzy all out. Fizzy all out. Fill up the bags. That's my story, and I am sticking to it. That's all I got to say about it. So, we got to the campground, and we only had a few beers left, because by the time we dumped all that shit out and drank the halfies and threw the empties away, there wasn't much left. And so, that's just a food for thought. That's a little tech tip, a little beer tip, a little camping tip, and a little motorcycle tip. Hope you guys are having a good week. Today is, well, we've crossed the middle of the week. We're on the downhill slide for those who get weekends. Hope you guys are having a good week. Hope your hump day was fantastic. I had a good day. It was interesting. It was good. A couple more days at the office, and then we go to the store, and then we work harder. So enjoy the rest of your week. Who knows what I'll be on again. I might have another food for thought tomorrow. You never know. You never know. This old brain, you don't know what's going to happen with it. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your week. Spend some time with your families. Do things you like to do. Enjoy life. Look forward to the weekend if you get weekends. If you're out riding, be safe. Keep the rubber on the road, and watch out for everyone else. Peace.